Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Teachers of Tomorrow podcast, your one-stop shop for all things education. We're your hosts. I'm Garrett Reynolds.
I'm Jordan Horn.
And today we're going to be talking about a sort of controversial topic that's been coming up recently, and that is the use of AI in the classroom.
The thing with AI is it can offer many different helpful things, but it also comes with a major risk, and there are many ways that it can impact students and teachers alike. So we're just going to kind of talk and discuss about some of the pros and cons of AI in this episode.
Yeah, so to start off, AI doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like, artificial intelligence, it's made to be intelligent. It's made to help you. So, for instance, let's say you're a teacher, you have to plan a history plan, let's just say that. You have to make a history lesson plan. You have a student who is blind, you have some students who are deaf. You can just go onto an AI site and type in, I need to make a history lesson about, Hatfields and McCoys, because that's what I'm doing in my history class. And you have to be inclusive of both the deaf and the blind. And it would spit out a perfect lesson plan for you to use.
But one of the risks that comes with that is that, as we know, sometimes AI can be faulty. And that's why one of the big issues with it is a lot of times people will take what it says and take it for the absolute truth, instead of using that as a guideline to kind of inform their own opinion and go do their own research. It should really be used as a jumping off point rather than the end-all be-all of knowledge, which is what a lot of people use it for.
Yeah, because I just want to stress that artificial intelligence, it's not real intelligence. Nothing can compete against the human intelligence. So at the end of the day, it really is just a helping tool. It's not its own job, I guess you would say. It's only there to help you. But another good thing about it is most of it is free. So if you do get good help from it, then a lot of resources don't have to make you pay for it. Like ChatGPT and that kind of stuff. You can just find websites for it online.
But one major issue with a lot of those free websites and paid websites, both, is the risk of data leaks. They are always a threat when it comes to using artificial intelligence. And the more information you feed to it, the more you risk putting your data at risk. So that's just something you want to be kind of mindful of whenever you're using artificial intelligence.
And I guess now we'll just kind of start talking more about the negatives. A big thing is, like we've been saying, artificial intelligence can be wrong. It doesn't always spit out the truth. But the sad thing is, a lot of students will use the cheat and write down the answers thinking that they are the truth.
Yeah. That's one thing, is a lot of students will try to use it for plagiarism. They'll try to use it to answer their questions or write their essays. But at the end of the day, something like that isn't going to, one, it's most of the time not going to fool a teacher. Two, it's not going to help them actually learn. So, the point of school isn't just to, get the work done. It's, you want to be able to teach your students stuff. But if they're too busy focusing on trying to just use AI and ChatGPT or Snapchat AI to try to do their assignments for them, they're not taking the time to learn the content you're trying so hard to teach them.
Yeah, and then on the opposite side of the coin, you have a lot of teachers using AI detection services. You just plug in an essay a student wrote, and it'll tell you whether or not it's written by AI. But it uses AI, so it can be wrong. It can take a student's completely original work, but then say it was plagiarized from AI, and that student who did the work, they read the resources, they did all the work by themselves, they can not get credit, all because other people are using AI for it.
Yeah, that's a major risk that comes with those AI detectors, is that more times than not, they are wrong and will detect students' original thoughts as AI, and then half the time they'll see AI thoughts and they'll be like, this is obviously a real student. So it's just one of those things where with AI, it comes the risk of taking everything it says for the truth. And that's the important thing that we shouldn't do with AI.
Yeah, if you can't tell, we're both kind of against AI, I guess you could say.
I'm not...
not really against it, but we just feel like it shouldn't be too commonplace.
Yeah, I feel like it has its place, it has its perks, but I feel like it shouldn't be... It's not as simple as, I want it to do this for me, and it did it for me. It's something where it can provide you with a lot of valuable resources, but you have to still put the time and effort into, putting those resources into effect. Like you said with the having it help you plan a history thing. If you were to make up that lesson plan using that AI, you would still have to take that and put it into the classroom yourself. You'd have to still take that and make it into something human, which is something that you have to do with any information that AI gives you, because it's one of those things of sometimes it's wrong, as we've established.
Yeah, I still think we're a long way off from AI replacing our jobs as teachers just because of all the mistakes and things it can make. But if it becomes too commonplace in the classroom, then honestly, what's the point? Like, no matter what, it's going to get to the age where everyone will believe the AI.
Yeah, it is something to think about, the fact that, like, even if we might have a job as a teacher, AI might very well impact the way that we go about teaching our students topics. And there, like we've established, there could be pros with that, but that also runs a lot of negative risks, and I don't know if it's really worth it to put AI that much in a classroom.
And another thing about AI, this is one of the parts that's not really too bad about it, is you can give it, like, I'll just use the Hatfield and McCoy again. You can say, like, give me the history of Hatfield and McCoy's, but summarize it to where it can be for a 4th grade teacher. Now, just say, for instance, I'm like a high school teacher, so I'm not used to teaching 4th graders. Although I am going to be a 4th grade teacher, but whatever. But let's just say I'm not that good with teaching with younger kids, so I can just tell the AI, take this topic, but kind of dumb it down a little bit to where little kids can understand it. So it took a job I'm not good at doing, and it did it for me. Which I guess that can still lead into, it can kind of take your job, but along with it could still be wrong. But it's still just a facet of it. It's just something it can help you with.
Yeah, and one of those things is, like, you have to take the time to kind of look over all the information it gives you back. Like, it might be able to summarize what the topic is for people who might not be able to fully understand, like, if you were to just drop, like, 3 pages of information in front of them. But you still have to take the time to look at the knowledge you know about it, the knowledge that you've researched about it, and be like, does this summary paragraph make sense? Will this work for explaining this? And once you've determined that, then you can implement it in the classroom if you feel like it gave a satisfactory enough answer. And another key facet with speaking about kind of bringing it, like, to kind of show you new information, is sometimes AI can give you a new point of view. Like, in certain aspects, it is like getting advice from someone, because it might have a different point of view than you do on a topic. For example, Hatfield and McCoy, it could bring up some kind of moral issue, and that, say something about it, what it said kind of struck a chord with you. You can maybe implement that. It's basically, you could use it as if you're just asking someone else their opinion on something, which sometimes if you want another opinion on something and you don't have anyone else around in the moment, it can be a really useful tool.
Yeah, so, like, just for an example, sorry to keep using Hatfield and McCoy, right? One of my professors is just going over Hatfield and McCoy's right now in my Kentucky history class. It was just the first thing that came to my mind. I just had to test over it today.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed I did good, by the way. Wish me luck that I did good on it.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah. But anyway, so let's say I supported the McCoys. Like, I was a die-hard McCoys fan. I could tell the AI, but I had to write an essay about the Hatfields. I could tell the AI, write me a story about the Hatfield and McCoy feuds, but from the perspective of the McCoys. Or the Hatfields. So me, a McCoy fan, could get a perspective from a Hatfield fan, even though there's no Hatfield fans around me. So it's still a resource to help me look kind of on the other side of the argument.
Yeah, and with something like that, you could still take that as someone's opinion, and you could use it as against your own moral judgment and be like, do I agree with what this is saying, and should I question it? And with the question of should you question it, yes, it's important to question AI because, like we've said many times this episode, it can be a very valuable tool when it comes to the field of education and teaching, but it is a tool that isn't where it needs to be yet to be completely unquestionable. And that's just one of the main aspects of it.
Yeah. I feel like we kind of touch on this I feel like we kind of touch on this every episode, but at the end of the day, we're teachers. It's our job to teach the next generation. We shouldn't be handing off our job to just some ones and zeros in a computer.
Yeah.
Nothing can replace the education a human can give another human.
Yeah, no, I could not have said that better myself. That's a I think we just have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, anything AI tells you, and be sure to just question and don't overuse it, because you're not doing yourself a favor if you're relying on it every time. But if you need an idea or something, it's there as a tool. Don't be scared to use it. But I think that's really all we have this episode. That's all I have. Do you have anything else you want to say?
That's all I have. So from the look of it, that's it for this episode of Teacher of Tomorrow podcast. So I guess that's a wrap. See y'all.